Hi guys, welcome back to CP Mom and Daughter. This is the channel where we talk about all things related to cerebral palsy and disability, and we have my perspective as being an adult with hemiplegia, which means my cerebral palsy affects my left side, and then my daughter has diaplegia or spastic diaplegia, which means her legs are affected by her cerebral palsy. And so today I wanted to make a video talking about what advice I would give to parents of kids with cerebral palsy. And the first thing that I would say is make sure that you're seeing your child for who they are. Make sure that you're seeing them for example, Misty. I see Misty as Misty. I see her for the joy that she gives, her smile, her laugh. The fact that she has cerebral palsy is secondary. And I would also encourage you not to be discouraged by what other people say, whether that's doctors or family members or friends or whatever. Truly, only your child and you know what they're truly capable of. And you're going to get the questions of, well, can they stand? Can they walk? Can they talk? Are they able to do this? Are they able to do that? Like, those questions you will have all day long. And that's why it's important for you to see your child as your child and love them for who they are, first and foremost, because you will have people that all they will be able to see, no matter how hard they try, is your child's cerebral palsy. And they will be focused on them walking, or them talking, or them sitting up. And so it's important that you're not completely focused on that you're just focused on loving your child for who they are and being the best parent you can be to them. The next thing I would say is it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a break from therapy. It's okay to take a break from doctor appointments for a little bit. It's okay to let yourself recover and rest. For example, at the age of, I think it was 15 or 16, I was just burnt out. I was tired of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's loud outside. I was tired of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and doing stretches and therapy, and I needed a break. So my mom and we just stopped. And I was able to come to the conclusion of I'm going to be able to do whatever I can do, and not always is it best to hammer in the therapy. Now, I would say that therapy can be very successful and do a lot of good when your child is younger, but you also don't want to get them burnt out. You don't want your child to get to the point where they don't want to do it anymore. You don't want them to get to the point where it's not enjoyable anymore. Because the truth is, if they're not able to walk, there's wheelchairs. And there's some pretty darn cool wheelchairs, by the way. If they have to walk with assistance, there's equipment. And there's organizations out there that will help you pay for them too. And so don't feel like it's this death sentence to your child if they're not able to do one thing or another. Yes, you would love for your child to be able to do everything. Yes, you want the best for your child, but the best for your child isn't always what everybody else thinks is the best. So, first, love them for who they are. Make sure you're not getting burnt out on therapies and doctors and equipment and all this stuff. I would say 3 make sure you're willing to step away a little bit from the research and just, again, take some time to love your child for who they are and just getting to know them. And I would say probably the biggest thing would be, make sure you're willing to be an advocate. Make sure you're willing to fight for your child. If a school or a doctor or a therapist is telling you one thing, but you believe in your gut that your child needs something else, make sure that you're willing to tell them that. I was given this example even just from my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law doesn't even have kids with physical disabilities. And her comment was, like, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with making sure that you have all the information correct. And she's right. Like, we shouldn't feel guilty for asking questions. We shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to dig and wanting to know more. And so, don't feel guilty. Dig when you feel led to dig. Back up when you feel like you need to back up. Rest when you need to rest. And make sure that you're giving your child that space too. You don't want to wear down their body. You don't want them to resent you. You don't want them to resent their therapist. You don't want them to resent the doctors. Like, I got to the point with therapy where my relationship with my therapist was just awful. I'll say it, I hated them. They sat on me. It was painful. I felt like they were very mechanical in just their approach, and having those thinking that way and having those attitudes, then I wasn't very nice to them. But don't worry, physical therapy, OT, all those things has come a long way since I had it back in the 1990s, or early 90s. So just, there's going to be hard days. There's going to be challenging days. There's going to be things that aren't going to make sense. There's going to be gross things or difficult things and smelly things. And that's okay. Having a friend that understands what you're going through is also huge. Having someone that says, I get it, you know, your child's not sleeping through the night, or I get it, your child's had many seizures, or they've had to deal with this or that, like my child has too. Like, having that person, I would say that's another big one, and I think that's number 5. So being willing to see your child just as your child first and foremost, being willing to rest when rest is needed, being willing to be an advocate for your child and fighting for what they need. And I guess that's 4. Anyways, the number doesn't matter. But just making sure that you're not going in it alone, because that will also cause burnout too. So I hope this video was helpful and you find it encouraging. If you would like any more tips or resources or just perspective, let me know in the comments down below, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye. God bless.